welcome back to another episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger. It's myself, Culturecams. I think this is episode 14 or 13, 14. Yeah, episode 14, that Magic Thierry number. Because, me, as I said, I'm always here, giving my thoughts on the week, giving my thoughts on not only just the week, just things that took place, things that went on. So I've got another one for you guys, and I'll start with Jurgen Klopp and the situation that he's going through at the moment. So of course, RIP to his mother. Production, while I do this, can you remind me of what game was the exciting FA Cup game earlier this week? It was the 3-3 between, who was it? Spurs game. It was Spurs and City. What was the Spurs and City score? No. Everton and Spurs. Yeah. 4-3. Yeah, something exciting like that. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Saying exactly 5-4. We'll get into it. I'll tell you guys why I'm getting into that later. But anyway, RIP to Klopp's mum. Of course, I know it happened last month, but we only found out this month. United fan or not, as a human, you've got to feel some sympathy towards him and his situation that he's going through. Obviously, he's been he's not under pressure, or he shouldn't be under pressure, but obviously the results haven't been going the right way. And for him to turn up week in, week out, face the media, face everyone, you've got to give him his respect. I know a lot of people attribute what's going on down maybe to his mother's passing, but I don't want to sound like a bad person, but I mean, Liverpool were going through problems before that. And he was snapping at the media before that. So I know people are trying to say, he's brave for facing the media and stuff, which I agree with. I fully agree with, and you fully got to get behind him in regards to that. But in terms of this is why Liverpool's form, or this is why, I can't really agree with that. It hasn't been going great for a while. I mean, they said it was injuries. They said it was VAR. They said it was the fixtures. Now it's Klopp's mum. Next, it'll be something else. So I don't think it's something that we should attribute to the on-pitch results, but we have to always give him his respect, and just give him his respect for still coming out there week in, week out and dealing with it. It must be very, very hard to deal with something like that in a situation like now, especially. But as I said, I wouldn't necessarily attribute it to Liverpool's poor form. And, there was talks. I saw people talking about maybe Liverpool should give him a break, like a week break. I saw some people say give him to the end of the season. Now, I'm not going to lie. I think that's a bit too far. I mean, he still has a job to do. Yes, he's a great manager and he's done great for Liverpool and they've owed him a lot. But you still got a job to do. And okay, I think I may be wrong. I may be having to dip into my vault. But I'm sure there was a time where maybe it was Owen Coyle or maybe Paul Jewell. I can't remember who it was. One of those two took like a week off or something, or 2 weeks. They weren't in the dugout because they had some issues they had to sort out. And of course, there was situations like Steve Bruce when he got his nose broken by robbers, and he was away for a little bit. So there's situations where people probably thinking, where the hell do I remember that? But there's situations where people and managers have, they can take a break. Maybe if Klopp needs a week off, or let the assistant manager take control, or let Jordan Henderson or whoever run the show, then that is understandable. But I saw suggestions of, forget the season, give him the whole year off. And I think that's just basically trying to call, let's tank the season and just make an excuse as to why we're not going to win the league. So I wouldn't really get behind that one. Of course, you got to give people their time to heal. But at the end of the day, this is a job for them. Just like the way it's a job, we have our 9 to 5s and it's a job. If we have grievances, you'll be gone for a while, but you've got to come back and work. You can't, I would never be able to tell my manager, hey, by the way, I'm gone for the rest of the year, but still pay me and still do this, and I'll be back when I'm ready. It's very unlikely, and we got to remember that in a business, football is still a business, and they still got to view it that way. So for them people that are saying that, I wouldn't probably agree with that, but I do agree with maybe he might need a little break just to refresh his mind. But it's tough because you can't even fly out nowhere, you can't do nothing. So it's a tough situation for him. But I hope he Hope he heals from that. I hope Liverpool stays losing games, but I hope he heals from that situation. Everything's all good. I heard he couldn't travel to Germany, which is a shame. So, as I said again, RIP to young Klopp's mother, and I hope condolences out to him, and I hope he heals from that situation. But I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna move on to the magic of the FA Cup is what they used to call it. Hey, listen, that's when I grew up. It was the magic of the FA Cup. It was just, everything was about Southend, Freddie Eastwood. He can come and score a goal against Man United and we're out. And I remember growing up with all that. And in Leeds, Jermaine Beckford at OT. And you know what I mean? Like, I remember these games. I remember MK Dons 4-0 against United. So I remember these type of games. I remember the magic of Havant and Waterloo, was it, Ville? Playing against Liverpool. I saw they bagged a goal as well. Nah, they didn't win. They didn't win. Yeah, they didn't win. They didn't win. But so, like, that is what I remember the FA Cup as. Like, that magic and that feel. And I feel like, I don't know, is it me or is the kind of magic, the essence of the FA Cup is gone? We got to remember, this is the first tournament in the history of football. The FA Cup. Cup competition, sorry. The first cup competition in the history of football is the FA Cup. It's the England. I don't know how true it is. I studied it in uni. I have my opinions, but England credit themselves as the founders of football. They made football, the sport. So the country that made the sport, their first ever cup competition. Is it me or has it just turned into a little bit of just kind of a dross, It's just kind of like, oh. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I was looking at that FA Cup tie against Everton and Tottenham, and that is a proper FA Cup tie. Two teams who proper look like they wanted to go for that tournament. Jose and Tottenham wanted it, of course, because they want trophies. Everton want it. They went for it. And I just feel like, we don't really capture them moments anymore. I feel like you get a lot of moments where it's just kind of like, yeah, it's just the FA Cup. If we lose, FA Cup's a major trophy at the end of the day. It's still a major trophy. Barcelona still take pride in winning the Cop del Reys and stuff like that. Like, I don't see why it's kind of just seen as, and how that's going to be highlighted is you look at Burnley. They played, I can't remember who they played. It might have been Wolves. I can't remember who they played. They made 8 to 9 changes and just lost. It's like, Burnley, you're not getting relegated. Bournemouth and lost. They played Bournemouth, made 8 changes, championship team, and lost. Now, when I sit there and I think about it, it's like, what are Burnley Football Club playing for? You're staying in the Premier League. Where are Burnley in the league? Burnley are not anywhere near. If I take a look right now, Burnley are sitting 16th, 26 points, 11 points clear of Fulham. Pretty comfortable. To be 11 points clear, that's comfortable. If somebody was 11 points clear at the top of the league, you'll stay there winning the league. So if you're 11 points clear of relegation, you expect them to stay up. Burnley, and that's even with a game in hand on Brighton, on Crystal Palace. So if they win, they'll have 29 points. Fulham will have 15. West Brom have 13. So then they're just pretty much just, you telling me that extra fixture that them players could have is the reason why they could go down or something? Like, obviously, I don't know many Burnley fans. I don't know any Burnley fans, to be honest. But what do Burnley fans, like, if there's any Burnley fan that's watching, what do Burnley fans think about that? Like, if it was me, if my team, we've got nothing to play for, we're going to stay in the Premier League, great, we're going to get that revenue money, we're going to get that money. Why can't we just go for a cup? Why can't we just try and do a Wigan? Why can't we, do a Portsmouth? Like, I don't see why the teams nowadays I remember Mick McCarthy back in the day got like killed for that. He made like 11 changes. I think it was against United, and then they lost and everyone was onto him. He was just like, bro, like, I don't care. I can make the changes if I want. And they actually took it to the FA and stuff like that. But what are teams what are these mid-table teams? What do they just don't care? They just let Man City go win it. Just let it doesn't matter. Go let Arsenal win it or anything like that. Why is it that these teams who, and I'm talking about the teams like Palace, Southampton, Wolves, Burnley, like that level, Aston Villa, that level of team. And obviously, I said Tottenham and Everton really went for it. West Ham, them type of teams, every single season, they should be looking at the FA Cup and thinking, let's try and win this. Big boys are going to play each other always. Man United played Liverpool. Man United are playing Leicester. The big boys are going to play each other. So why not we try and sneak it? I feel like it's just become a thing as in, you know what, we can't compete. Let Man City or whoever go and win it. And that's kind of disappointing. And of course, the big boys are the ones that mainly always end up winning it. Of course. But, as I said, why not try and win these competitions? Like, why not? Do you know what I mean? Like, I've seen Aston Villa get to the FA Cup final against Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal beat them. I saw Hull get to the final. Teams that just thought, do you know what? We're going to go for it. Not resting all your best players and for the Premier League that you're not even going to compete for. You're not going to do anything in the Premier League. So I don't really get it. What's the difference between finishing 14th and finishing 11th? What, maybe 8 mil? 9 mil? I don't know. But anyway, I'm moving from that. Hopefully the essence of the FA Cup can come back because it's still a big competition. Arsenal fans are probably the only ones who will probably say, whatever, because they're bored of winning it now. You know what I mean? But I remember when winning the FA Cup with Lingard in 2016, I think it was. I was happy to win that. League Cup, I fully understand it. League Cup, that's always traditionally just been like an extra tournament. That's just Man City B team go win it every single year. I think Pep's won it every single year he's been here. So it's like, bruh. But the FA Cup, that should always, for me, still remain a well-respected competition. But yes, let's move on from that one. Anyway, and talking about Spurs, talking about Everton, why don't we talk about Mr. Harry Kane? And you guys know, I've spoke about Harry Kane on this show already. I spoke about how if he was in the Bundesliga, he would score as many goals as Lewandowski. He would do pretty much the same things, in my opinion. But my question is, how long is it time for Kane to leave? Is it time for Kane to just finally be like, listen, I need to win trophies? Harry Kane has scored over 250 goals in his career. And I think he's just 27. He's 27 years old. I look at Harry Kane and the way he gets injuries. I look at the way his general fitness, not saying he's an unfit person, but I look at the way he is. And I don't think he's good. He may be, but I think, I worry about him going into his 30s, 31, 32, 33. I worry about him going into them ages. I think he'll drop deeper and deeper, and he might even try and do like a little Wayne Rooney thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's already kind of flirting with that idea, dropping deep. More time, I don't even see Kane in the opposition box anymore. You see him dropping deep, trying to ping it, That might be, all it takes is for people to start gassing up his head and saying he can be a centre mid. This is what they were telling Wayne Rooney. You can be a centre mid. You can be a centre mid. You can be a centre mid. All of a sudden, he's turning out for England in Euro 2016 in CM. And all of a sudden, he's at LVG CM. But you don't want that. You don't want that. So as I'm saying, I worry for Kane going into his 30s, right? As I said, he's 27. He's 28 in July. One of the best strikers in the world. We can't deny it. As much as people want to talk about Kane this, Kane that, no trophy. No one can deny Harry Kane is a legend of English football. He's an absolute goal. Like, it's silly how many goals he scores. But we all talk about legacies. What is Harry Kane's legacy going to be at the end of his career if he remains at Spurs? Imagine he goes this whole time. Like, we got to remember, Alan Shearer won a title. I know not many people talk about his title because it was a Blackburn and stuff, but he can always go back and say, I won a title. Man United wanted me, fair enough. It doesn't matter. I still won my title, played for my boyhood club. I'm happy. Harry Kane, listen, for all the basketball fans, I compared it to Dame Lillard. If anyone that does the multi-sport thing, playing at your club that you've been at from day one, every time people ask you, what's going on? You talk about, I want to win with this club. I want to win with this franchise. One of the best in the game, no matter what you think. Dame Lillard, top 3 PG in the league. Kyrie and Steph Curry. Harry Kane, top 2 striker. They're very similar. Leaders of their teams. Basically, if you could have captains in basketball, it would be Dame Lillard for the Trailblazers. They're very similar. You don't want to be... Just the same way in basketball, they say, Dame, move, maybe try to force a trade. It's the same thing with Harry Kane, because I'm telling you now, the way people will view Harry Kane at the end of his career, if he wins nothing, to if he was to go to a Man City or go to a Liverpool or go to well, I don't even want to say United, but let's say he elevated United to start winning something. The way his career, or a Madrid or whatever, they will see him so differently. All of a sudden, you'll be looking at the Premier League standings and you'll be looking at it like, hold on, Harry Kane has 230 goals, let's say, in the league. 230 goals, best ratio in Premier League history, titles on his belt. All of a sudden, you're questioning, is this the best striker to ever play in this country? But now all you're going to look at is, stat padder. He's this, he's that, he's this. And it's for me, it's sad. For me, it's sad. When you're a great player like that, you want the great players to win trophies. And I'm not talking about League Cup. Harry Kane winning a League Cup, that's nothing. To be honest, if Harry Kane wins a League Cup and starts lifting the medal and going crazy, I bet people are going to turn him into a meme. Like, look at this small club mentality. Look at the way Spurs are celebrating a League Cup. No one's really feeling that. Harry Kane needs to be challenging for Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. The moment came with the Champions League, of course, he was injured. Premier League, they came second, I think, one time or two times. Once they came second, they had that push for Leicester. They came third in the end for that one. So they've had that moment. Is he going to be happy to sit and wait for this whole Jose Mourinho rebuild? Because I'm not going to lie, with Pep Guardiola in this country, who the hell is winning titles, bruh? Who's winning Premier Leagues? So I think Harry Kane really, really got to think about it, man. You just got to look at his numbers. Anytime anyone's bored, just look at his numbers and you'll see why I compared it to Lewandowski. And, people will say in the big moments, Harry Kane doesn't deliver. Or what is Harry Kane's highlight moment? And I got to agree with that. Jamie Vardy has a Premier League title. Jamie Vardy has that amazing Big Six record. And just the way Jamie Vardy is, he has moments. You look at Jamie Vardy, he has moments that you can pinpoint and be like, you know what? That was Jamie Vardy. Boom. You can remember. Off my back, I can close my eyes right now. I can think of a million Drogba moments, a million Rooney moments, a million Henry moments, a million Shearer. Me personally, I can't name a million Shearer moments. Let me be honest. But there's so many moments you can name for these players, these top players, strikers. But with Harry Kane, you look at it and it's like, the time he whipped it in against Arsenal and took off his mask, like, he even has a World Cup golden boot, but it was 3 penalties, 1 hit the back of his heel. You know what I mean? It's very hard to pinpoint his career highlight moments. And he's 27 years old, still in the prime of his career. I'm really hoping he gets that move. I really hope he just decides, I want to move on. I want to go and play for a bigger team and I want to go and win trophies. No one's going to be mad at him. At the end of the day, as much as we talk about Steven Gerrard, he still has that Champions League moment, that FA Cup moment. The Premier League, we still talk about it. It's still an L. But he at least has something where you could be like, you know what? That was Steven Gerrard. It's called the FA Cup final is called the Steven Gerrard final. So, and in Istanbul, it's just Istanbul. We don't have to talk about that. So he has these moments. Harry Kane, if he wants to become the big legend that he deserves to be, he has to move clubs. In my opinion, that's just my genuine opinion. But last but not least, just wanted to give a bit of credit to Brendan Rodgers. I look at Brendan Rodgers and I think there was a massive clamour. There was a massive hype around, Pochettino, who of course is a good manager. But it's like, why doesn't Brendan Rodgers seem to have that kind of status? At the end of the day, Pochettino didn't win nothing at Spurs. Yeah, he took them to new heights that they haven't been before. But would we not say, yeah, Leicester won the league, but it was the miracle season. They lost Kante, they lost Mahrez. For Brendan Rodgers to come into this team, stabilize it, make them a consistently top team. Yes, they bottled the top 4 last season with the Project Restart and stuff. But the job that he's continuously doing, and the fact that we look at the Premier League table and we look at Leicester sitting third, joint second, and don't think, wow, that's a massive credit to him. That's a massive credit to him. So with all the hype that we gave Pochettino, why doesn't Brendan? Is it because Brendan Rodgers? I know he's not British; he's Northern Irish. But is it because he's just bland and that kind of that kind of thing that, you know, why people don't rate Mason Mount and all that. Like, is it just because he's a bit boring and that? But I don't see what much difference. If I'm a Man United, if I'm a Tottenham, Chelsea have had many opportunities, but they haven't taken it. But if I was a Tottenham, if I was a Man United, if I was a Arsenal, that's the type of manager that I'll be looking at. We talk about the Nagelsmans and we talk about Nagelsmann and stuff for doing exactly what Brendan Rodgers is doing with Leicester. We talk about what Pochettino, he did a great job. He did a great job. But we gave him that status. I think it's time we got to give Brendan Rodgers that credit. We still got to remember that Liverpool team, he almost won the title. It's not his fault. The team wasn't that much of a great team. Yeah, we can talk about Luis Suarez carried, whatever, but he can't control that Gerrard is slipping. He can't control them kind of moments. In my opinion, he deserves another chance at a top job. That's just all I think. He deserves another chance at a big team, a bigger team. But to be honest, he's got a nice little setup at Leicester there. The recruitment's great. So he might want to stay. Who knows? He might think, why would I move? But in my opinion, that's the first name that should be on everyone's list, especially that Pochettino has gone to PSG. Why not? He should be amongst... I'm hearing names like Ten Hag at Ajax. What do you know about Ten Hag that Brendan Rodgers can't... I feel like there's an obsession, you know? There becomes sometimes an obsession with the foreign flavor. There's someone right there doing a job every season after season after season, and we ignore him. But that's just my take. You guys let me know. Do you guys think Brendan Rodgers is ready to take that step up to a so-called bigger team that can go and win Premier Leagues or, you know, be in the Champions League and, you know, fight for major trophies? Should Harry Kane finally pack it in at Spurs? Is his time up at Spurs if he wants to really start going on and winning trophies? And yeah, man, those are my two questions this week. I don't need to ask any question about Klopp's mum. That'll be extremely weird. We all know it's just RIP to her, so I don't need to discuss about that. And the last one is, has the magic of the FA Cup gone? You let me know. I don't even watch Match of the Day anymore. I don't even care. The FA Cup's I don't care. It's boring. So where's the magic gone? So those are my 3 questions for everyone this week. And you know, guys, it's another episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe. And that's me. I'm out. See you,